If Taylor Swift is an icon of Americana, then I'm about to get real iconoclastic. Content warning, I'll be talking about racism, sexism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, ableism, and extreme pornography. Hello, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Farah. I have not cared about Taylor Swift's music since that You Belong With Me song that came out when I was in middle school. The one with the music video where she plays herself and the other woman, and she and the guy hold up notes at their windows. She wears high heels, I wear sneakers. That was cute. I like that one. But that was truly the first and last time that Taylor Swift was relevant to me, at least because of her music. Haven't listened to her most recent albums. I did like that song Wildest Dreams, but she should be tried at The Hague for Shake It Off. And I am so serious. Generally, her music is not for me, and she stands for nothing but herself. She came out as a Democrat in 2018, which upset the white supremacist sector of her fan base. Stayed silent on politics until halfway through the Trump administration, but she will stand up and fight if you so much as mention her dating history. Taylor Swift is the platonic ideal of a white feminist. She's like if white feminists didn't talk that much about women's issues. She and her private jet are also polluting the earth at a rate higher than some companies. So yeah, I don't really like that lady. She doesn't seem like a good person to me, and some of her fans are catching on to that because of who she's dating. I learned who Matty Healy was this year, and I learned who he is because a bunch of videos of him performing were going around, and one of them was of him spitting into a camera that was being operated. There's another video of him jumping on top of a camera person and thrusting. He was also filmed on stage doing a Nazi salute. Like, this is a bad man. And his fans have defended his behavior at shows by saying it's satire or that he's playing a character. Doesn't mean doing those things isn't harmful, but okay. This is how I really learned his name and who he was. A few months ago, Matty Healy was on this podcast, giggling and kiki-keying while the host made weird, racist jokes about Ice Spice being an Inuit Spice Girl or a chubby Chinese lady. They used a slur for Inuit people. They also did a bunch of racist accents on that episode. And I thought that was it. But then I read this BuzzFeed article. The subheading really caught my attention. It reads, one Taylor fan commented, someone said either he isn't as bad as we think or she isn't as good as we think. Pick one. I hate to say it, but I'm leaning towards her. If Swifties are saying she might not be as good as they thought, it's gotta be bad. At a different point in the same podcast episode, Adam recalled Matty being caught masturbating to Ghetto Gaggers pornography just moments after friends had left a party at his house. I had never heard of Ghetto Gaggers before, but it's an extreme porn website that hosts videos of women of color being degraded. Someone on Reddit called it the most extreme niche porn you probably can find that is just full of hatred for women, specifically about white men getting off on racially and sexually degrading black women. And they were all just laughing while they told the story of how when everyone was leaving a party at Matty's apartment, their friend forgot her water bottle and went back and he was playing hardcore porn from Ghetto Gaggers on his 77-inch TV. One of the hosts remarked that the only part that bothered me was airplaying pornography to the TV. And Matty Healy says himself that 30 seconds after everyone left, he was jacking off to someone getting brutalized. His words. And this is on YouTube for the world to listen to. I can't imagine what people like this must be saying when the microphones are off. To be able to consume the contents of a site like Ghetto Gaggers, which includes white men humiliating and sexually dominating black women, physical violence coupled with jokes about poverty, welfare, slavery, putting nooses on women, and just casually joke about it is beyond me. You have to be a sick and shameless individual. And it sounds like that's what Matty Healy is. The BuzzFeed article goes on to discuss the ways Ghetto Gaggers and similar porn websites exploit young women and women who might be in desperate financial situations. And with these sites, it's anyone's guess whether these women fully understood what they were signing up for. Really harrowing stuff. But it turns Matty Healy on, apparently. Taylor Swift and Matty Healy were linked in 2014, but it wasn't the right time. So a Taylor Swift fan asked, how could she not know about this stuff when strangers on the internet are aware? But she, who has known him for at least 10 years, has no idea? Absolutely not. She's aware. She doesn't care. Like, that's the only explanation. Maybe he doesn't speak crassly to her, or watch Ghetto Gaggers while she's around, so she figures that bad behavior just doesn't impact her. Or she's cool with it. Maybe she thinks it's funny. We don't know. Because she hasn't condemned those actions, or made it clear where she stands on this or any real issue. I don't think she's unaware. She's known him for years. I think she's just another wealthy, complicit white woman. Yup! This article also presents some things people have said about what will happen when they break up. Things like Taylor will play the victim, but he will not let her have the last word. And obviously I don't want to see harm come to her or anything like that, but that is something I think about. People who engage romantically, or platonically too, associate in any way with people who have a track record of this kind of behavior, either accept that they're going to be mistreated, or think that they won't be mistreated because they are somehow superior to the people that that person has harmed. I have my suspicions about which one it is in this case. While some of her fans have been critical of her in this moment, many Swifties are making excuses. One argument I've seen is that people are holding a woman accountable for a man's actions. No one is forcing her to associate with him. If you're voluntarily in any kind of relationship with someone known to do bad things, I'm looking at you sideways. That's how that works. We didn't say Taylor Swift was on stage doing a Nazi salute, but we sure did say she's choosing to have a relationship with someone who was. And that's bad. On top of everything I've already mentioned, I've seen people say that Matty Healy has said ableist slurs, lumped all Muslims in with ISIS, and used the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement to promote his music. Like, the list goes on. And she still chose him. It's not girl boss and feminist to pretend she has no agency or culpability here. At some point, you will have to realize that Taylor Swift is very rich and powerful. And grown. These are both grown people. 30s! She can be accountable for her part in this, which is complicity. I've seen people say, oh, Taylor doesn't owe you anything. You only care because you have an unhealthy parasocial relationship. I mean, maybe it's because I'm an outsider looking in, but how do you have a parasocial relationship with Taylor Swift? She doesn't say that much. Maybe it's through the music? I don't know. Are there people who think they're besties with Taylor Swift? But you don't have to have a parasocial relationship with someone to say that they're behaving badly. And it's not like this is just a private relationship Taylor Swift is having. She's inviting him on stage, exposing her audience to him. And Taylor Swift has always written about her relationships in her music. If there are people who have an interest in her relationships that borders on parasocial or invasive, it's at least in part because she invited them in. People are not just calling her out because of her new boyfriend either. There have always been people with valid criticisms of her, and most recently, her appearance in David O. Russell's Amsterdam and her writing a song for Where the Crawdads Sing are examples people are raising of her choosing to associate with projects and individuals that are problematic. People are also pointing out that she has stayed silent when it comes to the legal attacks on trans people and drag. She'll create an award-winning music video anchored by the presence and performance of drag queens, but remains silent on legislation that is actively vilifying, othering, and harming that community. There's one Swiftie in particular who really doesn't want us to call Taylor Swift racist, and you are not on this lady's side. I really thought that was satire until I saw a bunch of people I follow taking it seriously, and I was like, no, guys, this is a joke. But then I looked at the profile. They were dead serious. That your fans think that is a valid defense is an indictment of you. With regards to the racism allegations against Miss Swift, I do just want to point out, this is not the first openly racist man she's dated either. John Mayer famously compared his penis to the Grand Wizard of the KKK after using the N-word in the same interview. And she was 19 at the time. But she's 33 now, and still choosing to align herself with racist, misogynistic men. Listen when people tell you who they are. The part that's really baffling to me is the fact that Healy has said he would find dating Taylor Swift emasculating. He said this in 2016. And you're still giving him a chance? He had your name in his mouth, talking about how he's threatened by your success and wouldn't have wanted to date you. What makes you think that's the person I need to start a relationship with? I'm sure he's very popular. But she is Taylor Swift. He said it himself. She is very famous and successful. Emasculatingly so. It feels like she only stands to suffer from being with him. At least in most examples of white women being complicit in white men's bigotry, they have something to gain. I don't respect a single party in this whole operation. And that's just her dating history. Let's talk about her fan base. Recently, Taylor Swift released a remix of her song Karma that featured Ice Spice. By the way, never collaborated with another female rapper, or any woman of color, in her whole career. And some people theorize that Taylor Swift scrambled to do this after Matty Healy's appearance on that podcast as a way to prove that she isn't racist or hateful, in lieu of actually addressing that issue. Others are insisting that these things take months to coordinate, so she did this just because she likes Ice Spice and wanted her on the song. No ulterior motives. It read as a calculating move by Taylor to me, maybe an attempt to get those search results for Taylor Swift Ice Spice to look a little bit different, but it's bad either way. Either she's working with a black artist about whom her boyfriend was giggling racistly to prove that she's an ally, or at least distract from her boyfriend's racism, or she collaborated with Ice Spice, her boyfriend was on a podcast laughing at racist remarks about her, and she did and said nothing about it. Just allowed her colleague to be spoken about any kind of way. And now that the song is out, I have witnessed some mild to extreme examples of racism from Swifties. We should all just be happy, including Ice Spice, for the opportunity Taylor is giving her. Some fans have been saying that they will not listen to the remix because it has a rap verse. These tweets have been taken down, so there could have been more people this happened to, but 2 black creators I follow who spoke negatively about the Karma remix were told by a Taylor Swift fan to pray that they're not the next George Floyd. That is disgusting, but racist abuse from Taylor Swift's fanbase is a well-documented phenomenon. From Nazis and members of the alt-right hailing her as their Aryan goddess, and fan accounts reposting anti-miscegenation propaganda to this day, to the lead actress in Ginny and Georgia being harassed with racist comments after Taylor Swift tweeted about a joke from the show, and hateful language used against black musical artists like SZA, who some fans referred to as Nizza when she was challenging Taylor for the top spot on the Billboard charts in January. Racism is a problem among Swifties, and has been for some time. I just recently had to report an account called Taylor Supremacy that was posting a photo with Taylor Swift's head edited onto Derek Chauvin's body, with her knee on Beyonce's neck. One of Taylor Swift's superfans was using an edited photo from George Floyd's murder to celebrate Taylor's streaming numbers. And it's one thing for the fans to behave this way. Definitely still says something about the artist, that these are the people who gravitate to you, but that's one thing. It's another for Taylor Swift to have never called it out. Not once. There's an open letter to Taylor Swift from her fans, and I won't read the whole thing here, but the main ask is for self-reflection from Taylor, and for her to speak on this issue, on some of the things Matty Healy has done. I think it's commendable that whoever wrote this put it together, they hit on all the right points, but it really is wishful thinking to believe, first of all, that she'll see it, but that if she did see it, she would speak on this. Do you not know your fave? That's not what she does. And while I would like for Taylor Swift to be accountable and use her platform responsibly, it would take a lot more than her talking about it for me to believe that she is in any way worthy of my support. She is this towering icon of songwriting and American feminism for some. But to me, she just represents neoliberal capitalists who have figured out that it's profitable to at least pretend to care about social issues while acting in direct opposition to marginalized people's interests. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to the people who helped me with this video by reviewing the script and sharing relevant resources. I'm linking to some videos that my friend Amber, certified Swiftie, shared with me of people far more familiar with Taylor than me talking about this whole situation and Taylor in general, so check those out. But that's it from me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! There's one Swiftie who believes that Taylor Swift dating Matty Healy is performance art, an allegorical performance of Dante's Inferno. And right now, she's in the depths of hell, so she can later ascend to heaven. Maybe I need to learn from Taylor. I was not familiar with your game. What do I need to do for people to be that obsessed with me? Don't just defend me. Defend me using analyses of classical literature. It's too good.